Battle Axe is back on MC22. Alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford, I'm Joey the Jaw DONIA at the Bustin Axe Throwing Range in Dubuque, Iowa for Season 3 of everyone's favorite axe throwing show, Battle Axe. Back in Season 2, we had a rule change. We went to a much smaller bullseye. That's worth 6 points. Kill shots are still worth 8 points, and players can go for a kill shot at any point throughout a match. We are set to go here in week number 1 of our 3rd season of Battle Axe here on MC22. First up, we've got some familiar faces from Battle Axe. GINA FEENSTRA. She's going to be going head-to-head with Chris D'Onofrio, our runner-up from Season 2. D'Onofrio and FEENSTRA touch tips. We are set to go here for Season 3, Bobby.
Happy to be back here, Joey. This is going to be a fantastic matchup.
It's been too long since we've seen some good axe throwing competition. It is great to be back here at the Bustin Axe.
Absolutely. It's great to be back, and it's a great throw by GINA to get everything started. A 6 to go up 1 point over the dagger.
Yeah, great start for GINA FEENSTRA. She's been working tirelessly in the offseason to cut down on drops. She's confident you won't see many drops from her, if at all, anymore.
And another strong throw there by GINA, a bullseye. And it looks like Chris is going in there for a closer look. He's going to call Jenny over to get a closer look at that initial 5 call.
Bullseye,
Yeah,
Chris.
he sure hopes it's a bullseye to keep pace with FEENSTRA, who is off to a hot start. 2 straight bullseyes for FEENSTRA, and that, of course, means FEENSTRA has a shot at a unicorn right here on her 3rd throw.
Right out of the gates, we have a shot at a unicorn, and it looks like she got it.
GINA FEENSTRA is on fire right now.
Wow, you can hear the roar from the crowd as well. Everyone really supportive here. Great competitive nature here at Battle Axe.
That is the first career unicorn for GINA FEENSTRA. All that work in the offseason is paying off big time right now.
Little off the mark there, a 4, but Chris throws a 5, and we are all tied up here at 22 going into our 5th throw. So great position for GINA to be in.
Fantastic matchup here thus far. What a great way to start off Season 3 here on Battle Axe.
As you mentioned in the open, Joey, Chris went to the finals, and GINA in our first season had a really nice run in the tournament as well, so it's nice to see these 2 competitors really putting on a show.
Yeah, 2 very familiar faces in Chris D'Onofrio and GINA FEENSTRA, players that have been there and done that, and they're hungry to do big things here in Season 3. We'll make the turn now as GINA FEENSTRA gets set for her 6th throw.
3, GINA.
And that one off the mark for FEENSTRA. It's
5.
a 3. D'Onofrio throws a 5. He now has a 2-point lead.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're facing a competitor like the dagger, you really can't have those 3s. You can kind of live with the 4s. You know, you want those 5s and 6s for sure. So we'll see how she responds.
4, Chris. 4, GINA.
There's another good throw for FEENSTRA to keep it a 2-point game. It's 35-33 D'Onofrio with 3 throws to go.
Yeah, GINA's really going to need a mistake here from Chris, and we know that's a very rare thing for Chris to do. Another nice throw there by Chris, and GINA just off the mark.
Yeah, that looks like a bullseye for D'Onofrio. It's just off the mark from being a bullseye. It's a 5. D'Onofrio now has a 40-37 advantage with just 2 throws to go.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of decision-making. It is early in the season, so I don't think we'll be seeing a lot of kill shots initially, but something that players are going to want to work on throughout the season.
This is why they call Chris D'Onofrio the dagger. He throws a bullseye to make it a 5-point game heading into the final throw. We'll see if GINA FEENSTRA wants to go for the kill shot here.
I think she's going to be happy with her showing right now and just try to put points on the board. Chris,
Indeed
smelling
she
blood in
will.
the water.
Bullseye,
Nice
Chris.
throw there from FEENSTRA.
5, GINA.
D'Onofrio throws a bullseye. So Chris D'Onofrio
That was a good game.
comes on strong
very
on the
close.
back half to put this one away.
46
He gets
GINA,
the win.
52 Chris.
52-46 over GINA FEENSTRA. Well, let's take a look at this one, Bobby. A great start for GINA FEENSTRA. This was a really competitive game all the way up until the last few throws there.
Absolutely. So GINA, of course, started off with the unicorn there. Chris wasn't far behind with the 5 on his first throw, but it really just came down to that 6th throw. GINA threw up a 3 there and just left that door open for the dagger, and he took full advantage.
Yeah, FEENSTRA with a impressive showing here. She's going to be a contender here this season on Battle Axe, it appears. As for Chris D'Onofrio, we caught up with the Dagger about his outlook here on Season 3 of Battle Axe.
I don't know if it's necessarily a clean slate. I think it's more to bring it back to the basics, back to that first season, and stop worrying about what happens, because you can't control it. Like, it is what it is, and you can't worry about the last throw you did. You just gotta forget about it and play that board.
Chris D'Onofrio, one of the many fan favorites here on Battle Axe. This season, we're going to give the fans what they want, a chance to get to know these competitors on a much more intimate level. Here's our one-on-one interview with Eric Schizzle.
I guess to start, I grew up right here in Dubuque. I've been here all my life. It was just right up the street from the range, actually, by the first university that we have here, University of Dubuque. They were right next door to my house, and yeah, I grew up in that area for quite some time. Don't really remember being very competitive about much. I mean, I played a lot of video games. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, those kind of games that came out, they were a lot of fun. I skateboarded a lot. When I was in junior high and starting off in high school, I did some wrestling and some football, and that was fun enough until they wanted to do more practice and get, 2 in a day, so morning and night, and it just, to me, I was kind of focusing on just kind of being a kid, running wild and just having a good time. And I don't see the competitiveness. I'm not sure where it came from. I'm not sure why it just kind of all of a sudden happened, especially as a kid. I had other things on my mind other than school. I just wanted to run, and I'm not really sure where the drive comes from. I think everybody has a bit of a competitive nature, but I don't think I was ever really good at a lot of things that I tried. I tried a lot of things and I failed a bunch, which is okay, but I never found that thing I was good at. Can I shoot pool? Okay, I guess, not that good. Bowling, terrible. Darts, mediocre at best. So then you're thinking about other activities that are around. I mean, I was really good when it came to like arcade games and that kind of stuff, but those things come and gone. And then it was kind of like, oh, this came to me very easy. So now it's something I really enjoy. And I think it was, again, trying to find my niche, where it was. I don't think I had it for a long time, and here it is. So I think maybe that's where the competitive nature comes from. It was always there, dormant, until I found what I was really good at. So
you put the axe in his hand, and Eric Schizzle finds his calling. The beast is unleashed, Bobby.
Absolutely. The scope truly finding his calling in life here, and happy for him and happy for this next matchup we have going on here.
Yeah, Hannah Brussels, we're calling her Happy Feet. She's going up against Eric the Scope Schizzle, our defending champion from Season 2.
So an interesting little storyline in this year's Battle Axe here. Eric was in an accident and actually broke his right arm. So he's going to be throwing all year left-handed.
Yeah, and if you thought that a broken hand was going to stop Eric the Scope Schizzle from defending his title, think again.
Think again, exactly. And Eric is naturally left-handed, so he was throwing right-handed this entire time. So really credit to him for not giving up and persevering and taking on the challenge.
Yeah, this guy is just too good of a competitor, and he just loves the game too much to let anything stop him from coming out here and throwing the axe.
And after the drop by Hannah on her first throw, Eric with an 8-4 lead. Hannah adopting the name Happy Feet over the summer because she gets a little happy feet when before her name's called. So sometimes she has a foot fault because she'll cross that line before her name is called, which of course negates the throw.
Yeah, it's a nickname she doesn't want to live up to.
No, but it's a nice reminder for her to stay back and wait for Hannah's name to be called.
Nice throw there from Happy Feet. It's a 4. Schizzle throws a 5. He has a 5-point advantage after 3 throws.
And again, it's one of those things where probably we won't see a lot of kill shots with Eric until he gets comfortable with that throw. But as you can see, his 3rd consecutive 5, so he's got that throw down already.
Yeah, very impressive what he's doing with the left hand here.
Throw, Eric's up by 6.
In his opening match here on Season 3 of Battle Axe.
And Hannah, of course, like a lot of competitors, they're really trying to minimize their drops. That's the one
For
thing that,
Hannah, for
you know,
Eric.
any points on the board are very valuable. Anytime you have that drop, it's just devastating, as you can see with a 16-22 score here. Hannah just needed points on that first throw.
Yeah, the players in this league, the competitors, they're just too good for you to be able to have a drop.
Exactly,
One drop
yeah.
will cost you the match just about any time.
For
Exactly.
Eric, 5,
You,
Hannah?
you just can't leave that goose egg on the board. But a nice throw there by Hannah. You know, that right side of the board looked like it's playing well tonight. 5-4 there on that sixth throw. Hannah within 5.
Eric Schizzle getting ready for his 7th throw. He's got the right eye closed as he throws with the left hand.
A couple
For
nice
Hannah.
throws there. We're gonna get a closer look. It might be a 5, but it might be right beyond that line. I'm getting it has to show through both sides for it to count as a 5 or a 6 there. So right on that line. But again, every league, all these players are tweaking, adjusting, getting new equipment, getting new toys and stuff to work their game out. And so Eric, with this incredible challenge of having to learn how to throw left-handed, not only just to get it on the board, but throw consistently.
And consistency is what he's been doing thus far. Looks like another 5 for Eric Schizzle. He now has a 6-point advantage with just 2 throws to go.
Yeah, and Hannah's really doing a good job of minimizing those drops, staying in that 4 range. Obviously wants to get close to that 5 and 6, but nice adjustment for her after a disappointing first throw. And of course, there's always a lot of nice friendly camaraderie going on with everybody here, so words of encouragement
Hannah,
between the 2
3,
throwers.
Eric.
And
So a nice throw there from Hannah Happy Feet Brussel. It's a 4 to
All
gain a
right, last
point on
throw.
Eric Schizzle, who
Eric's up
throws
by
a
5.
3. If Brussel goes for a kill shot, she
33.
might have a shot here. We'll see what she elects to do.
I can see she's thinking about it, maybe even trying to goat Eric into going for it a little bit, but yeah, so she's telling Eric right there she's not going to go for the kill shot, because if she misses it, she only gets that 33. She wants to put points on the board, especially early on this year. So I think she's going to be going just for the points here.
And especially with Eric throwing with that left hand, you never
5
know
Hannah,
when
3
he
Eric.
might have a bad throw.
He might have a drop, exactly. Good point.
So a nice throw from Brussel to close out her
All
round.
right,
It's a
good game,
5,
Hannah,
but the
38,
scope lands a
Eric,
3 to
41.
put it away. Eric Schizzle, the lefty, he wins at 41 to 38. Well, obviously, when Eric Schizzle's throwing with his right hand, his score is much higher. But this
Correct.
is an impressive start to Eric Schizzle's left-handed career on Battle Axe.
Absolutely. It's something, you really don't really have an idea about how you're going to throw until you really start throwing and everything. So nice showing, especially at the start for Eric. And then also nice job from Hannah to really recover in that 6 through 10 throw, hitting a lot more 5s and consistent 4s without the drops.
Yeah, nothing but consistency from Hannah Brussel outside of that opening drop. Had it not been for that, this one would have been right there for the taking for her.
Absolutely.
Well, we'll be right back with more Battle Axe straight ahead after this on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. I'm Joey DONIA alongside Bobby the Blade Bradford. We are just about set to go for our next matchup, and our next competitor is Brandon FEENSTRA. He's been working hard in the offseason. Here's FEENSTRA on his improvement and how he plans to build off of that improvement this season.
I feel like I've gotten my throws consistently in the middle, but now it's just the up and down that I need to work on a little bit, and maybe my stance and posture when I'm throwing and accuracy, that kind of stuff. A little bit more consistency.
FEENSTRA looking to build off the consistency in season number 3 of Battle Axe, and we've got one dandy of a matchup coming up for you here right now. Casey Bullseye BUOL taking on Brandon FEENSTRA. And of course, who could forget, this was a matchup from our last postseason, a matchup that Brandon FEENSTRA pulled off a bit of an upset, with a big win over Casey
4 and
BUOL.
4.
Absolutely. It was an elimination matchup. Brandon knocked Casey out of the tournament, so a little bit of a grudge match going on here.
No doubt that BUOL has not forgotten what that felt like. It's probably something that's been keeping him up at night for all of these months since we last competed in Season 2.
Well, Bullseye BUOL
5
found out the
KC.
cameras were coming back, and that was enough to get him out of retirement to come back and be in this league this year. So he's got something to prove for sure.
Off to a nice start here against Brandon FEENSTRA with a 9-7 advantage after a couple of throws.
And both of these players
4
are
and
very
4?
consistent throwers. You're going to see very little mistakes out of either one of them. So it's really whoever gets locked in first, Joey.
Absolutely. And FEENSTRA talked about his improvement. He's improved so much as a competitor from when we first saw him making his
4
Battle Axe
Brandon.
debut. Interested to see how much more he can improve and just
Correct.
how much potential
Casey.
Brandon FEENSTRA has.
Yeah, definitely one of the
All
stronger
right.
players in the league. And as you can see from the
This
score
is your
here,
5th
18
throw.
to 15.
Casey
Got a
BUOL
very
is up
close
by
game here.
3.
Throw number 4 from FEENSTRA and
Hi,
BUOL.
Brandon.
Nice
Bullseye
throws
Casey.
from both. It's a bullseye for Casey Bullseye BUOL.
Living up to his name right there. So going into the turnout on a good note is Casey. And a 4-point lead, though, definitely within the reach for Brandon.
It's going to be hard to get back into it when Bullseye BUOL is thrown like
Casey,
that.
5 Brandon.
Correct.
He just missed another bullseye. It's a 5. FEENSTRA throws a 5 as well.
Yeah, you can always tell, though, when Casey's starting to get locked in. He's got that really distinct throw towards the board. There's really no hesitation and no wasted movement.
And he's almost got this
Poor
look on
Brandon.
his face like you just know that he
Hi,
knows he's
Casey.
going to put that axe right where he wants it to go.
Yeah, he's locked in. Yeah,
So BUOL now with a 34-29 advantage with 3 throws to go.
So again, just laser focus. Another nice throw
Bullseye
there by
Brandon.
both competitors. We'll have to get a closer look.
5 Casey.
Bullseye there for Brandon.
His first bullseye of the season.
Right.
That will get him within 4. 2 throws to go. That one gets away from FEENSTRA, and it's going to be
Brandon. 4
costly.
Casey.
That's
Again,
only a 4 for BUOL. It looked much closer to being a
All
5,
right, this
but
is your last throw. Casey
it's now a
BUOL's up by 5
5-point
points.
game with 1 throw to go. We'll see if FEENSTRA goes for the kill shot or takes the easy money. That's what he's going to do. And BUOL
Brandon.
puts it away with what appears to be
Casey.
a 5, and it is a 5. Casey Bullseye BUOL
All right.
coming back
And final
to
score,
get some redemption
42
over Brandon
Brandon,
FEENSTRA. He
48
wins
Casey.
it 48-42. Well, we knew this one was going to be competitive, and indeed it was, but Casey BUOL just really locked in, playing at a high level here as we get started in Season 3.
Yeah, really coming out the gates strong. No threes, everything 4 and above. Really consistent, nice throw. If you look from throw 4 through throw 8, really nice job for Casey to stay locked in.
Yeah, Brandon FEENSTRA talked about how he really wanted to be consistent this season. For the most part, he was. A couple of threes that got away, and that proved to be a big difference in this one, Bobby.
Absolutely. A nice throwing, nice showing for both players.
Well, we've got a couple of new competitors here on Season 3 of Battle Axe, a husband and wife who are taking this very seriously. They've brought axe throwing home in a new kind of way.
He just kind of came home. He's always got something going on in his brain and trying to do something. And he's like, well, I think I'm just going to put an axe range. And it was starting out in the garage, or it was actually starting out in the basement. And then when Eric and Chris told him the requirements of how high it needed to be and where it needed to sit, he kind of got his hopes crushed. And he's like, well, I guess we're going to have to put it in the garage. So we sold a hot tub, we sold a truck, and we have an axe range in our garage. So 2 of them, actually, 2 lanes in our garage. So
A worthy investment to prepare these competitors for the bright lights of Battle Axe, Bobby.
Absolutely. If you sell your jacuzzi and your truck, must be committed.
Steve Swift getting set to take on Sarah Fitting here on Season 3 of Battle Axe. Swift and Fitting touch tips, and we are set to go.
Steve, another newcomer to the league.
5
Good
Steve,
throw. We had a
bullseye
lot of
Sarah.
players in the summer league that are carrying over to the fall league as well. So
Well, it appears that axe throwing range in the garage is already paying off for Sarah Fitting. She gets started with a bullseye here.
And so Sarah with a really nice throw, a
2
consistent
Steve, 5
throw.
Sarah.
It's what you would expect from a competitor that has a round-the-clock training facility right in her garage.
It's always about innovation when it comes to new sports, Joey. So anytime you can get a leg up on your competitors, you have to take that advantage. So, and as you can see, it's just
Let me check.
really paying off for Sarah here.
3 Steve.
So that's a 3 for Steve Swift, another 5 for Sarah Fitting. Interested to see how many of these competitors will follow the Fitting model and build axe throwing ranges in their garages as well to try to keep up with the
Or Steve
Joneses, as they
Bullseye
say.
Sarah.
Absolutely. Keep up with the fittings if we have to, right? So, yeah, anytime you sell your truck and your hot tub
All
to
right,
build an
this
axe
is your
throwing
5th
range,
row.
it's
Sarah's up by 8.
shown some true commitment to the sport.
How badly does Sarah Fitting want it? Well, badly
Steve,
enough
3
to
Sarah.
sell her hot tub and her truck.
That one got away from her a little bit, though. You can see the axe just kind of a little bit too early of a release point going on. Other than that, it's just a fantastic first round for Sarah.
So they'll switch sides and get set to go for the
4
second
Sarah.
half of this
Check
one.
out Steve.
That one is close to being a 4, but it might be a
Okay,
3.
4 Steve.
Ooh, Swift just gets
You're
it
good?
across the line for a 4. It's a 4 for Sarah Fitting as well. She maintains her 7-point advantage with 4 throws to go.
At this point, you just have to, eliminate the mistakes. No drops. That was a nice throw there by Steve. Really
5
threw it
Steve,
in there with
3
authority.
Sarah.
But again, Sarah putting points on the board, maintaining her lead, something that she can really learn and close out the game here.
Swift gains a couple of points there, throwing a 5 as Fitting throws a 3.
4 Steve.
There's a nice
4
throw from
Sarah.
Fitting. It's a 4. Swift throws a 4 as well. It's a 5-point lead for Fitting now with 2 throws to go.
Joey, as we've talked about with other players too, it's learning how to play with a lead. It's a different mentality having to come from behind. Nice throw there by Steve. But when you have the lead, keeping that foot
4
on the
Sarah,
pedal,
bullseye Steve.
keeping that pressure on your opponent, it's a definite thing you have to learn how to do and get comfortable with.
Well, there's
All right,
the
this is
first
your last
bullseye
round.
of the day
Sarah's
for
up by
Steve
3.
Swift, so he gets within 3 now with 1 throw to go. Anything can happen here now on the final throw.
Oh, and he just held on to that axe
3
too long,
Steve.
and Sarah with a beautiful throw.
Bullseye Sarah.
Sarah, she starts her round with a bullseye, and she ends it with a bullseye as well.
All right,
Nice.
good game.
Sarah Fitting,
40
the
Steve,
victor
46
over
Sarah.
Steve Swift, 46-40. Well, let's take a look at this one, Bobby. Sarah Fitting, a lot of big scores there, 6s, 5s, 3 bullseyes in total.
Yeah.
A really good round for Sarah Fitting in her Battle Axe debut. She's certainly not intimidated by the bright lights of this stage.
No, I haven't seen her throwing range in the garage. I don't know if they have the bright lights, but definitely she came to play today. Those 2 3s were really her only mistakes. And again, if your 3s are going to be your mistakes, that's something you can live with. It's not a 0, it's not a drop, it's not a 2 or a 1. So really a nice showing. Nice comeback by Steve, though, as well. Really to make this competitive at the end.
Absolutely. So Sarah Fitting gets the win, and I'm sure it's right back to the garage to get to work. We'll be right back with more Battle Axe straight ahead here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. One of our old fan favorites is about to compete, Casey Laserwolf Nines. Here he is right now with his outlook on season number 3.
Kind of the same as last league. We got a lot of the same top players, so they're always going to be like the ones I'm trying to at least get equal to at this point, or beat, obviously. The competition is just getting tougher and tougher every season. So I'm trying to up my game, trying to practice more and more, trying to focus on those, getting those bullseyes and those kill shots. And they're tough. I mean, even some of the new guys who have started like maybe last league, they're moving up real fast too. So at this point, any game is, who knows what's going to happen. So it's making it more fun for me. So I'm looking forward to this season. Yep.
We are looking forward to it as well, and we are definitely looking forward to this next matchup we've got for you here on Season 3. A couple of really familiar faces here on Battle Axe. The defending champion, Eric the Scope Shizzle, taking on Casey Laserwolf Nines, the runner-up from Season 1 on Battle Axe.
Yeah, just a classic matchup here in Battle Axe. Although, as we said in the first matchup with Eric, he is throwing left-handed, so we're going to see how he fares against one of the top competitors in this league.
Yeah, Shizzle had a nice debut with the left hand
Eric,
earlier. He put up a round of 41. You would assume he'll have to be even better to have a shot here against Laser Wolf.
Absolutely, and I think for Eric, anytime he beats any of these competitors, he can always have that advantage of saying, hey, I can beat you with both hands.
Exactly. It's really impressive what Eric Shizzle is doing, just a real representation of how much he loves the game.
Bullseye, Casey.
And Eric Shizzle throws his first bullseye with the left hand.
Anything you can do, I can do better with my offhand. So that's a nice response there by Eric to keep this thing all knotted up at 10.
Nines and Shizzle neck and neck after the first two throws.
4 Casey,
And I think
4
it's one
Eric.
of those things, too, Joey. It's actually going to be getting in the head of Eric's opponents when he's playing. They know he's playing with the left hand. They don't want to lose to Eric anyway with his right hand, to begin with, let alone have that knowledge in the back of the head that they lost to him on his offhand. So
Absolutely. For Shizzle, it's got to feel like
you're playing with house money.
Exactly. And for the competitors that are going up against
Bullseye,
Shizzle,
Casey, 4 Eric.
They have everything to lose.
exactly.
You go back to the old Michael
All right,
Jordan
this is
versus
your
Magic
fifth
Johnson
throw. Casey is up by 2
one-on-one match that never happened. Michael said that he has everything to gain. I have everything to lose. Why would I want to do that? So great position for Eric to be in. But a nice response there by Laser Wolf.
Yeah, Laser Wolf just too good of a competitor
Bullseye, Casey,
to let
4
any
Eric.
kind of pressure get to him. He's now thrown back-to-back bullseyes, a chance here at a unicorn.
Chance at a unicorn, and a great example of how quickly you can create separation with your opponent here in Battle Axe. So just 2 6s to Eric's 2 4s has created a 4-point deficit for Eric, making him have to be more aggressive with his throws.
5 Casey, 4 Eric.
So Nines just missing the bullseye for a unicorn, but he still gains a point over Shizzle with a 5 to Shizzle's 4. So it's a 5-point advantage now for Laser Wolf.
Nice throw there by Eric or by Casey, and again Eric is just going to have to hone his
Back
throw.
Casey
I mean,
for
this is
Eric.
the first week of doing it, first week of competition. So I'm assuming it's something that's going to get better and better as the weeks go on.
You want me to look at it?
Got a questionable call there.
Yeah.
And again, points are the thing that matter the most,
I
so
say
every
bullseye.
point matters.
Bullseye, Casey.
And so that point's going to be changed from a 5 to a 6.
So it is the 4th bullseye of the round for Casey Laser Wolf Nines. We said that Shizzle was going to have to go higher than a 41. Laser Wolf just went over 41 right there with that throw.
Yep.
5 Eric.
But again, Casey is one of those players that can really pepper in those bullseyes. He can really get on a hot streak and throw some impressive numbers. We've seen him throw a 9 bullseye game before. It's just when he gets locked in, he's tough to beat.
I don't have a flashlight.
And it looks like we're going to get Chris the Dagger D'Onofrio to come in here to kind of help out.
Yeah,
Get
they're
a
gonna
little
get
real-
some light on it.
Yeah, get a new eye on this. Because again, you have to see the blade breaking the wood on both sides. So it has to penetrate that 5 ring and then be visible on
5.
both
I
sides.
couldn't see over your flash.
So it is a 5
5 Casey.
for Laser Wolf. He has a 7-point advantage now with just 2 throws to go.
And although it's a 7-point lead here for Casey, Eric, I don't think he's going to be going for the kill shot. I don't think he's going to be aggressive this early on in the league. I think he's just going to keep working on his throw, getting that consistent 5 and 6 throw down.
Absolutely. He's just getting a feel for things and building as the season goes along.
4 Eric, 5 Casey.
Again, you can see that's where the axe is kind of, it's an erratic axe at this point in time. It's,
All right, this is your last throw.
Kind of has a
Casey's up by
mind of
8.
its own right now.
Yep.
But this has still been an impressive round for Eric Shizzle. Nothing, no 3s and
Correct.
a lot of 5s in there along with a bullseye.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like golf in a little way. You can have a really great round one day,
Eric.
but then the next day you go out and you're
5
all
Casey.
over the place. So he's got to learn to hone in his left-handed
All
throw,
right,
but
good
just
game.
a great showing.
It was 43
Absolutely.
Eric,
It's
52
Casey Nines getting the victory, 52-43. Well, this is exactly what we expected from Laser Wolf. 4 bullseyes to go along with a lot of 5s and a couple of 4s. An impressive start to season number 3 for Nines.
Absolutely. Casey with a great, consistent showing of 52. Definitely going to be one of the top competitors throughout this league. Eric with a nice start. Really kind of gotten Casey's head a little bit. We can say really made Casey step up and perform to the level that Casey's used to. So really great matchup between the two.
Yeah, and he improved upon his opening matchup score of 41, just a little better this time around with a 43. So slow improvement will be the name of the game for Eric the Scope Shizzle. Much more still to come here on Battle Axe. Straight ahead, we've got our old guard, the defending champion from Season 1, Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw, getting set to go. Here's the Magic Man on what it's like to play with a bullseye on his back.
I don't see it that way. I mean, for this season, for me, my mantra is journey over outcome. It's all about the process for me. I still need to make sure my throws are correct. I still need to get in my routine. So I may win a few, I may lose many. But for me, you know, with the Axe family that we have here, just being able to enjoy it and just really focus on my throw and not anybody else. However the outcome lands, it lands, and I'm perfectly okay with that.
Guy who just simply plays for the love of the game, Bobby, but it's hard to imagine the Magic Man losing a lot of matchups.
It's exactly. He's one of the best.
Matt Bradshaw set to make his Season 3 debut here. He's going to go head-to-head with Stephanie Prine.
Of course, there's always a fun, playful atmosphere when Matt and Stephanie are playing each other. Really two fun competitors that just love the game.
And one of my favorite things about the Magic Man, his attire. He always is dressed dapper. Look at those pants.
He's a showman. He's a showman. So I think tonight he's going with the mac and cheese pants.
Now I'm getting hungry.
Exactly. Well, he starts off with a nice 5. Stephanie with a 3 there. So Stephanie knows who Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw is. She knows she needs to be at the top of her game.
She's off to a shaky start here, and the Magic Man looks just as good as ever.
Bullseye, Matt.
Yep. So a 2 there for Stephanie on her second throw. Just a bad way to start, but again, this is the beginning of the league here, Joey, so really creating that thick skin to be able to keep that mental focus throughout an entire match are all things that we can work on. So nice throw there by Stephanie.
Another great throw from the Magic Man. It appears to be another bullseye. And indeed it is. 2 straight bullseyes now for Bradshaw. He pumps the fist. He's got a shot at a unicorn here on his 4th throw.
Yep, and again, as we know from talking with Matt so many times, he takes on every opponent the same. He doesn't care who's on the other side. Matt's playing himself the entire time, so he's always focused and looking to best his last score.
And that's the way any competitor here would want it to be.
Right.
You certainly don't want your competition changing anything you do in your approach.
All right, and this is your 5th throw. Matt
So
is
Stephanie
up by
with
10
a couple
points.
nice throws there to make it 13-23. Anything can happen, but again, points are essential. So as long as she keeps putting that axe on the board, that's what she's got to be hanging her hat on.
And the Magic Man is pouring on the points. A devastating fall there for Prine.
Yeah,
Bradshaw coming off a
Bad Matt,
unicorn.
drop
He's
Stephanie.
built a double-digit lead in what felt like the blink of an eye.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where Stephanie, she knows she can't have those drops, so she really has to regroup, regain her composure, and just focus on that board. Don't focus about your opponent. Focus on that board.
Yeah, at this point, she just wants to get as many points as she can. Another drop there for Prine, and another bullseye for the Magic Man.
Just a flush bullseye there from Matt Bradshaw. And Stephanie, again, has to pick herself up. One of the great things about this league is that everyone is so supportive of all the competitors. So everyone wants to see everyone else succeed. And you just don't want to see that from Stephanie.
Yeah, such a mutual respect for one another and just an appreciation for all of the competitors in this league.
Well, and everyone's working with each other to
Stephanie, bullseye,
make themselves better. So, you know, off camera when they're working on their throws in the practice sessions and everything like that, there's tips and tricks being given. You know, Matt mentioned it in his pregame interview. There is an axe family here, so everyone's really supportive of each other and wants to see everyone succeed.
Another shot at a unicorn here for Matt Bradshaw. He had a unicorn just a few throws ago.
Oh, and it's going to be close.
5,
Yeah,
Matt.
it looks like a 5.
4, Stephanie.
We'll see if Matt wants to take a closer look at it. But I don't think it was hitting both sides of that red there.
So Matt Bradshaw with the most impressive round we have seen thus far here on Season 3. He is really pouring on the points.
You know, and Matt is one of the most consistent players when it comes to a pre-throw routine. So he definitely has
For Stephanie, bullseye,
all of his
Matt.
steps down. He is waiting for his opponent to throw. He takes his breath. He focuses
All right,
throw.
this is your
and it's
last throw.
consistent.
Matt's up by 26.
And it really is a secret to his success here in Battle Axe.
So Stephanie Prine looking to finish this matchup on a positive note here and get some points, and Matt will look to put an exclamation point on this one with another bullseye.
Ooh.
3, Stephanie,
And
bullseye,
indeed
Matt.
he does. What an impressive round from Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. He gets the win 57 to 28, I should say.
28,
Yep, but Stephanie all
57,
smiles
Matt.
still. So just a nice showing there by Matt the Magic Man Bradshaw. One unicorn, a chance at another, and maybe if he had an 11th throw, he could have had a chance at a third one as well.
Yeah, 7 bullseyes for the Magic Man to go along with 3 5s. What a start for Bradshaw here on season number 3 of Battle Axe.
Yeah, and for Stephanie, you know, those 2 drops on 5 and 6 are going to be devastating no matter who your opponent is. But when you're facing someone in the caliber of Matt Bradshaw, you definitely don't want to have those. So something that she's going to want to look at and work on as the season progresses.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of facility or garage she's got at her house, but maybe
Maybe she can go over to Sarah and Brian's.
I'm sure the door would be open, the garage door, because as we mentioned, it's an Axe family. And for more on what that Axe family is all about, here's the Magic Man himself.
It's the camaraderie of everybody that's here. I mean, we all share the love of throwing axes, and just being able to come down and let off some steam after a long day at work and having this family here. They all have your back. They're all very positive. They're all willing to share tips, pointers, and it's all just a great time for a couple hours. Can't beat it.
The Magic Man speaks the truth. We've got plenty more still to come here on Battle Axe. We'll be right back here on MC22. Welcome back to Battle Axe here on MC22. We've just got one match left to go here on our first episode of Season 3. Before we bring that to you, here's GINA FEENSTRA reflecting on Season 2.
I think I ended probably in the middle, but I know in the tournament at the end of last season that I was here, I pretty sure I made it one more game further than I did the time before, you know, so always good to make it that far and hopefully progress further.
FEENSTRA looking to build off the momentum of a nice little postseason run back in Season 2, Bobby.
Absolutely, and looking to build off a nice Week 1 matchup with Chris D'Onofrio.
Absolutely. GINA FEENSTRA set to take on a newcomer to the lead, CODY JOCHUM.
Yeah, Cody, a newcomer to the league, one of the many that we have, so it's always nice to see a new face here on Battle Axe. GINA coming in at 0-1. Cody, this is his first match.
So
3
a 3
GINA,
for GINA
3
FEENSTRA
CODY.
and a 3 for CODY JOCHUM.
Yep, just holding on to that axe just a little bit too long. You know, it's just like a release point in baseball, Joey. It's one of those things you got to get that release point down, and then the trick is you have to be able to repeat it.
There's a nice throw from GINA FEENSTRA.
Or Cody.
Yep, I think that
Might
bottom
be
of the
a
axe might
five.
be in a
Gina?
5. Yep.
You're good.
It's always tricky when you see the top of the axe going into, you know, like the 4 range and everything like that. Oh, but looks like Gina's going to be calling Jenny over.
Oh, 4, yes.
Yeah, keep in mind,
Oh,
you
right.
have to
Yep.
see
Thank you,
both
Gina.
sides of the blade into that scoring area.
Yep. And so
For it
again,
to
in
be
this
a
league,
5.
we have great sportsmen and everything like that. So when they see that it's not a 5, they're going to call Jenny over. They want to come by their victories honorably.
Excellent
Cody for
sportsmanship from GINA FEENSTRA.
Almost excellent. sportsmanship,
Exactly.
Right.
Love it. CODY JOCHUM takes the lead with a 5. It's a 12-11 matchup after 3 throws.
Yep, so again, it's important for Gina to remember that kind of consistent throw that she had to start that match off with the dagger. Just holding on to the axe just a little bit too long. And a nice release point there by Cody.
5, Cody.
Yeah, CODY JOCHUM starting to find his groove now.
4, Gina.
Yep. And Gina getting lucky there with the the tip of that axe just crossing over the floor
All
line.
right,
So
fifth row. Cody's
keeping it
up by
manageable
2.
within 2 throws going into their 5th throw.
Three, Gina. 5, Cody.
Oh, another throw that gets away from GINA FEENSTRA a little bit. It's a 3.
4. Thank
And
you.
there's some great sportsmanship from Cody JOCHUM. What goes around
Cody,
comes
you're really
around.
tall. I can't
Exactly.
see
Yep.
over
Again, and
you. I
everyone
can
coming
see
in,
over
they don't want to
everyone
come by
else.
their wins,
Yeah.
dishonorably. So a nice showing there by Cody, recognizing it's a 4 and correcting Jenny.
4, Gina.
And that might be a 5 there for Cody.
4, Cody.
Oh, but it just gets catching the black of that line there. Not being able to pop through. So a 25-22 lead here for Cody JOCHUM going into their 7th throw. And again, with Cody being a new player, we really don't know if drops are an issue or anything like that. So this game is still very much within reach for GINA FEENSTRA, sorry.
5, Cody. 4, Gina.
Well, Cody JOCHUM doesn't look like a guy who's going to have a drop anytime soon. He's been pretty consistent thus far. He's got a 4-point advantage, which is 2 throws to go. 3 throws to go, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. And, GINA, again, doing a nice job. This is something we would have seen, at least it's a fantastic throw there, but we would have seen,
Cody.
a couple drops by GINA at this point in
5,
leagues
Gina.
past. And so it's a testament to her work that she's put in to just put points on the board consistently.
Yeah, earlier in the show, she talked about how she'd been working tirelessly in the offseason to eliminate those
This is
drops.
not
We haven't
yet.
seen a single throw yet, or a single drop yet, I should say.
Absolutely. And again, that nice focus there by Cody. Kind of taking a page out of Matt
4,
Bradshaw's
Gina, 5,
book there
Cody.
to wait for his opponent to throw.
All right, last throw.
So it's a
Cody's up by
4-point
4 points.
advantage for Cody JOCHUM with 1 throw to go. We'll see if FEENSTRA goes for the kill shot or just goes for the points.
Again, early on in the season, I think a lot of players are going to be going for the points on the board, knowing that the record is important,
2,
but the
Gina.
points are much more important. So
5, Cody.
So another one gets away from FEENSTRA. It's another 5
All
for
right, good
Cody
game.
JOCHUM, who makes a nice
37
debut
Gina,
here on
44
Battle Axe. He
Cody.
gets the win, 44-37.
yeah, so GINA falls to 0-2, but again, 2 nice showings for her. Definitely showing the progress and the work ethic that she's put in. Cody JOCHUM with a nice, consistent showing here. Right after that second throw, you can see just consistent 5s and 4s. Probably not too far off away from those 6 and 5s as well.
Absolutely, and you turn those into 6s, just a few of them, and you're going to be able to compete with anyone in this league.
Yeah, some of the big dogs. So interesting to see where these 2 players are going to be going, and definitely something to be looking forward to throughout the season.
Well, it's been an exciting start to season number 3 here on Battle Axe. Let's take a look at the standings after 1 week of competition, Bobby.
Yeah, it should be no surprise to see that Matt, the Magic Man Bradshaw, up there at 4-0 at 219 points, but coming up right behind him is Chris D'Onofrio at 4-0, 204 points scored. Casey Nines coming in at 3-1, 202 points scored. And Brian Fitting, who unfortunately we haven't been able to see in the first week, is at 4-0 with 200 points scored, proving that that garage throwing range is really coming in handy.
Yeah, no surprise to see a lot of these names up on that leaderboard. And then you see 2 newcomers in the league. They're in the top 6. Eric the Scope Shizzle rounding out the top 7, followed by Hannah Brussel, Brandon FEENSTRA, Sarah Fitting, GINA FEENSTRA, Steve Swift, and Stephanie PRINE.
Yeah, just a great job for everybody. Brian Fitting at 4-0 with the 200 points scored. You see Casey JOCHUM there at 4-0 with 179 points scored as well. So definitely some players to look out for as the season does progress.
Can't wait for it. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Battle Axe. For Bobby the Blade Bradford and the entire MC22 crew, I'm Joey the Jaw Donia. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you here next time on Battle Axe.